Welcome back. Today we're going to look at another alphabet-based design. We're going to stitch a design using the letter Z. So we're going to go to our whiteboard. Let's see how we stitch this design. We start with the letter Z. We keep going so that we can mirror that Z. Then we continue and make the next Z. Continue and mirror that previous letter Z. We keep going by making a Z and then mirroring that Z, and they're all connected. Let me do that one more time. Here's the letter Z. I keep going until I mirror that first Z. It almost makes like this little triangle shape, if that makes it easier for you. Keep going to make Z again. Here's our Z. Now we need to mirror that Z. And now the Z is mirrored. I use the letter Z because we know how to write the letter Z. When we begin a design based on what we already know, we're more likely to have success. If the letter Z doesn't work for you and a triangle does, use that. Because in fact, can you see the triangle shape? See the triangle shape here and here? If it's easier to do that, use that shape instead of the letter Z. Let's see what this looks like on the quilt sandwich. I'm going to switch to the overhead camera. So here's the design, and you may notice that I changed the scale of the triangle or letter Z. These are bigger. These are about the same size. And they're bigger than these over here. But look just to the other side. This size is bigger than this one. Triangles or letter Z, whichever works for you. What a neat way to take shapes that we know, triangle or the letter Z, to make this design. I like the combination. It's appealing to have different sizes. This is small and short, where these are big and taller than these. I like the combination of using them together. But then it can also be appealing to have them all the same size. You know, I like to share designs that we can use in many parts of our quilt. Can you see this in the background? Border sashing over the entire part of a quilt. You decide what will work for your quilt. Now let's watch how this is stitched on the machine. that in stitching the design, it might be different than how we practice on paper and pen or whiteboard. We might stitch horizontally, or we might stitch vertically. Think about it when you practice on a whiteboard or paper. What direction are you practicing? Whatever direction that is, whether it's vertically or horizontally, that's how you want to practice on your quilt sandwich. But the truth is, you really should learn how to do it in both directions. Why? The reason is we're stitching on a home machine and we don't have a lot of room between the needle and the back of the machine. And so every single time that we have to rotate our quilt because we can only stitch in a certain direction, that's more the wrestling we have to do. So the more you and I can stitch in multiple directions, the less we have to rotate our quilt. Does that make sense? So practice. Use a fat quarter, which is something that you can buy pre-cut. It's 18 by 21 inches usually, and cut it in half. This is half of a fat quarter to practice. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll cut a fat quarter into 4 equal parts, so I have 4 pieces to practice on. It's really up to you. I hope that this design has inspired you. I hope that you'll use it in your next quilt project. And maybe you won't use it tomorrow or 6 months from now. The important thing is that you're building skills and building a library of designs that you can use and have at the ready when you need them. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.